evening, ladies and gentlemen. How you doing? This is something I've never done before. I'm going to address a YouTuber who made two comments, one on each of my videos. One of them I answered on the video. I did not block this person, and I didn't feel that it was necessary, although some of the things that he had said were kind of unkind. But I'm going to read verbatim what he said right here. I have it printed out. If you was to go on to Uncle Dorkel's Christmas special, I did not delete what I'm going to be reading here. So if you don't, for some reason, get a chance to hear me say it now, you can go back to that video and read his comment. But anyways, I'm going to read it. He's in the UK. His screen name is Ying Quo. I'm going to spell that. Y-I-N-G-Q-U-O. And he's in the UK, in the United Kingdom. Now, like I said before, there has been times that I say, well, a certain person said this or a certain person said that. By the way, this was not the person that says he is creepy. But this particular person did say the same thing, only in many more words. I'm going to read it now. And the reason I'm making this video is simply because something like this can possibly eliminate this skit completely. Before I read this, I want to very briefly touch on comedy. The problem with today is there is basically no comedy. You don't have good comedy like you had years ago. You know, you've had Jack Benny, you've had Amos and Andy television shows, which was taken off because it was supposed to be racist, which is a lot of crap because Sanford and Son was much more racist than Amos and Andy. But that's not what the discussion is. But I just want to say, you know, you had Paul Winchell and Jerry Mahoney. You had Howdy Doody. These were all puppets and mannequins and, you know, ventriloquist type dummies. Uncle Dorkel was made to be funny looking. A funny looking little old man. Or skinny old man. Yes, it can get gross talking about possums and gizzard stew and stuff like that, but you know what? It's silliness. If you don't have any silliness in your life, you don't laugh once in a while, this is why you go to a movie, to get away from reality and go into a fantasy, so to speak. It's good for the soul. It's good for the body. It's good for the mind to get away from shooting and killing and stuff like that. The stuff we had years ago when we were kids, you had the cowboys and Indians. We didn't go out and kill people because we watched a Western and there's some shoot-ups. The people nowadays, they got no sense of humor. I'm going to read this, and I want to see what you think of Uncle Dorkel's comedy, because I'm going to put this thing to a vote. Now, I've had people before, when I've said I wanted to put this thing to a vote when I was going to build this thing, and I wanted to get your input. Now, some of you said, well, what do you need to vote? You do what you want to do. Well, that's fine. But you know, you're my people out there. And I want to entertain you. And there is a lot of people that like Uncle Dorkel's skits. There are a few that don't. I want to read this thing. I want your opinion on somebody who'll do this and write something like this. But he also wrote some kind words. I want to read it right now. His name is Ying Quo, and I hope I spelled and pronounced it right. Y-I-N-G-Q-U-O, and he's in the UK. And I'm going to read it verbatim, and here it is. Bill, I've been looking in for 3 or more years, and I like all your projects and chats. But the Dorkel stuff is creepy. It is not healthy or regular. You need to refocus on other things. Consign Dorkel to the bin. You are a lovely man. I wish you nothing but happiness. It's cruel to others to encourage this nonsense, referring to this guy. I worry that if a psychiatrist saw this, he would have you carted away. You are a good bloke. A bloke? B-L-O-K-E. A 100% nice man, but not realizing the oddness of your new toy. Well, this new toy, as he says, is a ventriloquist type dummy that I built, if you followed the series through. But apparently, this particular fellow here seems to think that what I do with a series like this is something for the crazies to do. That's the way I'm reading him, and I want your opinion on this, you folks out there. Everybody has their likes and dislikes, and that's why my channel is a variety channel, which I've mentioned before. Some of it's guitar playing by my son Tommy. Some of it is a lot of it is flapping videos. Some of it is a project video, which there isn't much going on because of the winter time now. Some of them is could be most anything, simple little things that I do, or so-called comedy. This is silliness. Yes, I'll grant you that. It's silliness. Now, maybe this fella needs to refresh or maybe even be educated on comedy, because obviously this particular individual has no sense of humor. He would probably say the same thing about Red Skelton shows, Jack Benny, Amos and Andy television shows of the 1950s. Any of those. Paul Winchell and Jerry Mahoney, that was a ventriloquist type of show, dummy. Look up ventriloquism. There's plenty of acts out there. There are acts out there that are a hell of a lot more, how should I say, worse and derogatory than this. What I do with this, okay, so Gizzard Stew, what the hell, you know? If you're eating supper, okay. It grosses me out, but it brings a smile to you. The problem with this world today is, and this fella needs to look around him and see how little comedy there is in the world today. Even in his own country. It's the world. It isn't just one particular country. We need laughter. So it's silly. So he makes a burping sound, or he talks about things that may seem dumb, and if you haven't got a sense of humor, don't watch it. You know, I mean, if he had sent me a personal message and said this, I would have addressed him directly. And then this particular video I'm making now would not mention his name. But I want everybody to see this, which is on Uncle Dorkel's Christmas special. I did not answer it. I will not answer it because I'm answering it here. But he made another comment on Uncle Dorkel Part 10, my Uncle Dorkel episode 10, and I did answer that. basically what I'm saying here. There's a lot of sick comedy out there nowadays, and it's a hell of a lot worse than what I'm doing with Uncle Dorkel. You tell me, folks. You tell me. Because if it gets to a point where I'm getting a lot of criticism, I'll stop doing it. I've gotten criticism and thumbs down before, or, you know, when they had the star rating system, I've had it where they gave me 1 or 2 stars on comedy. I've taken the videos down because comedy is not one of my things that I do good. I thought maybe doing something like this, and I spent a lot of time on this, and a few bucks, nothing major, but you know, and I enjoyed building it. But my enjoyment is you people out there. It's a kick in the nuts, to be frank, when somebody says that you're going to be carted away by a psychiatrist, have you hauled away. If for some reason this does not become a success, and at the rate it's going, I'd say it's 50-50 right now. There's a consignment shop, not a consignment shop, a flea market, a donation place, about a mile from me. I'll bring them up there and dump them off. That's it. No, I'm not going to sell them because I'm not shipping things. I'm not mailing things out. But I'll guarantee you, if somebody had this and they were sick in the mind, they would have gross... Maybe this person would rather have me do a video with chopping heads off, shooting the stuff that you see in these horror movies nowadays. The violent games that are... There's nothing violent about Uncle Dorkel. But maybe this particular person is putting me in that category. I want to know what you people think. I know there's a lot of you that do like it. A lot of you. But I also want to hear from the ones that don't like it. Because it's going to determine whether I keep this or not. If you want to read this again, just go to Uncle Dorkel's Christmas special. It's right there. I didn't block it. I didn't delete it. It's up to you folks out there. Do we continue with Uncle Dorkel? Or, as he says, consign him to the bin. Thank you for watching.